All right. Headline number 2. According to the fabulous Jeff Wells of Grocery Dive, Albertsons plans to join the club and launch its own media network. The new, what Albertsons is calling the Albertsons Media Collective. And you love anything with the word collective, will be led by Christy Argelon, who previously led Target's Roundel ad business, and they will begin running ad campaigns on February 27th, 2022. That is a very specific date, by the way. I didn't catch that before.
Yes.
And as part of the announcement, it also appears that Albertsons is winding down its long-held partnership with the media firm Quotient. All right, Chad, back to you on this one. We heard from Microsoft this week in an event we did on LinkedIn that retailers forming their own media networks is one of the biggest tech trends for 2022. 1, do you agree with that statement? And 2, what are your thoughts on this announcement?
Well, so first of all, yes, it is a hot trend. Just recently, Kroger launched its own private programmatic advertising marketplace. I think it's a really good move from Albertsons. And the reason's twofold. Number one, it serves as a high ROI profit center for Albertsons, period. But number 2, it enables CPG brands to better connect with consumers through your platform, your brand, and your own channels, right? So you're the facilitating entity, and thus you become a more important retailer and develop stronger connections with the brands. Now, in my CMO of CPG experience, looking at this through the brand lens as well, this is really good news for brands too.
Yeah.
So it's funny. I just recently did an interview with Retail Dive on holiday print catalogs as a marketing tool compared to digital, and in particular social advertising. Very different, obviously, in terms of where that conversation went, but there is a common theme there, and it's around social advertising channels continue to get more expensive as large and emerging brands flood the channel. The Apple iOS changes earlier this year that allow users to opt out of in-app data collection, basically takes retargeting off the table. It hurts ad measurement and attribution reporting. Brand marketers have long been looking for ways to serve targeted ads to consumers closer to the point of purchase and further down the marketing funnel. And it's actually hard to beat this, especially while these other, traditional, but high demand advertising places like Facebook and all continue to get more expensive, and folks are looking to diversify. So I think this is a great aspect for both sides, Albertsons as well as brands.
Yeah, and what do you think? I mean, you've had a close relationship with some people at Albertsons here over the last year to 2 years. What are you thinking?
Well, I mean, I immediately thought of what Chris Rupp, the Chief Digital and Customer Officer of Albertsons, said at Grocery Shop, and that was that Albertsons is not a technology company. They trust partners to help them, but they are bringing in they're going to develop their own retail media network, which I think says a lot. It's not something that's worth farming out to somebody like a Quotient anymore. And I think that, Chad, you touched on it too. Like, there's a lot of retailers that are out there doing this, and the retailers themselves, they've been bringing in the media networks. They're bringing in like $1 billion, and they just haven't been given the attention and the love that they deserve yet. And I think now it's finally coming out that, this is a real opportunity for brands and retailers for that CPG and retailer relationship. And now it's really going to bring the ROI as they start to expand into instant delivery or other categories that are going to need to be funded by something. So I think this is full of potential. It's just not like a sexy thing to talk about. So I think it's been
although I would argue, I think it's becoming more sexy. I think it really is. Like, maybe we're bringing sexy back to the retail ad media network.
God.
See, do you like that? I just shot the media a music reference, but no, I mean, and the reason I say that is we actually are going to be doing a podcast in a few weeks with a company called C Value, which is all about helping retail companies form their own media networks. And as I was prepping that interview with Pearl Lieberman of C Value, who's in charge of their marketing, she said something really interesting to me that has stuck with me. And then I listened to the Microsoft conversation earlier this week too, and what you and Chad were just talking about. And she said every brand in the digital age is its own media network already. They just don't know it or have the skills to execute it. And I thought that was a really powerful statement to encapsulate where I think the future is headed. And I can't wait to get her behind the mic, share what she has to say more about this with the Omni Talk audience, because I think there's something to that statement that's really powerful. But Abhinav, let's go to you for the last word here. What do you think?
I agree with all that has been said. I've seen this journey at Amazon. They were the first ones who dived into it. I think they represent today maybe more than 10% of all digital ad spend. And 5 or 6 years ago, it was almost zero. And so in a very short period of time, they built it up. But to your guys' point, they are a technology company and they have invested heavily. They've built it in-house. I've seen the journey on how clunky it was when it started, which always is the case. But now how sophisticated and easy to use it has gotten, and brands are using it left and right. I think they made $6 billion or something in the advertising space. So it's the right thing to do. And everyone who has traffic coming onto their website or their properties or apps should definitely leverage this. The question is execution.
Yeah, and that's an important. Oh, sorry, I was going to say that's an important statistic for Amazon too. Like Gartner has said that advertising networks will be $50 billion annually for retailers, which is an astounding figure. Like if you put that in terms of like the raw dollars that retailers do on an annual basis in the US, that would rank them as the 13th largest retailer in the US. So that's how much money is going to be flowing into this space.